Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the topic of single phase transformer. Uh, First of all, what is the transformer? Transformer is a statical device. It transfers the power from one circuit to another without changing the frequency. The word without changing the frequency is very important. Without changing the frequency, the power transfer from one circuit to another. This is the transformer. Transformer also one of the electrical device. It working principle also the electromagnetic induction principle. Uh, uh, this single phase transformer having three main parts. One is magnetic core, another one is primary winding and secondary winding. Insulated core, magnetic core. Okay, so two limbs are there. One is two side limbs. Sometimes isolation transformers having a three limbs, two side limbs, one center limbs. Center limbs only having a windings. So in normal single phase transformer having two limbs. So two limbs is occupied in the two windings. One is called primary, another one is called secondary, shown in the figure, top of the figure. So primary coil only connected in a supply voltage source. Okay, this supplies voltage source is EB, or another one is electrical generator likewise. Okay, so when the primary winding is getting this supply voltage, it producing some amount of magnetic field. That magnetic field is passing through by using magnetic core. Okay, so the magnetic core is transfer the flow of magnetic flux to primary to secondary. Okay, when that magnetic flux is going to cut a secondary winding, that secondary winding is producing some amount of EMF. We can receive or collect that EMF to the load. Okay, a load likewise a lamp, fan, TV, whatever it may be. Okay, your usage application likewise the load is segregated. Okay, first of all the single phase transformer. Single phase transformer is a one of the electrical device. It transfers the electrical power from one circuit to another without changing the frequency. And here the frequency, we can talk about frequency, but not in DC. DC only uh, in DC supply frequency not available. Only in AC supply the frequency available. From the output waveform of the AC and DC we can understanding the concept AC and DC we are discussed in previous classes. Okay, so look at this diagram. First applied alternating current to the primary winding. The primary winding is going to energized, so it's producing some amount of EMF. That EMF transferred on the insulated magnetic core. That core is passing the flux from primary to secondary. When the flux is reach the secondary winding, automatically the secondary winding is going to energized. It's producing some amount of EMF. That EMF is collecting, transferring to the load. Okay, so the variety of loads are there. So mainly the single phase transformers are used to rectification and converter process. Okay, so um, from this single phase transformer classified into mainly two types, step up and step down. Additionally called it is also classified into auto transformer. Auto transformer also called as variac. Okay, then it is also called classified into uh, isolation transformer. Isolation transform means the primary and secondary voltages are same. Okay, so here the lamp second diagram, it shown the ideal transformer. Ideal transformer means input and output of the supply voltage is same. This is the ideal AC. Okay, So mostly we are not we are cyclically we can't use the ideal transformers. Okay, one of the only we can use step up or step down transformer. Most of the adjustable voltage where we can use in the applications, we are using single phase transformers. Okay, so step up and step down, how to vary it from a ideal transformer. The winding number of windings. Okay, the primary number of windings is lesser than the secondary winding, means that transformer is called step up transformer. Okay, the number of primary winding is lesser than the secondary winding, means that is step up transformer. So the input supply is, for example, the third diagram, it shows clearly primary coil primary voltage is 110 or 110t. The secondary voltage is 220 or 240. It's greater than the primary voltage, so automatically it is called as step up transformer. Step down transformer, how to identify it means the primary winding is greater than the secondary winding. Okay, so secondary winding lesser than the primary winding means these transformers are called step down transformers. The figure shows 220 volt or 240, here 110 or 120. So the transformers are classified into likewise. Otherwise, ideal transformer, both primary and secondary winding turns, number of turns are equal. Okay, so at the time we can apply the supply voltage of 220 in a primary, means secondary also receiving the 220 volt, because the primary and secondary winding number of turns are equal. Okay, so here also some amount of losses are there, so that losses is balanced by the applying supply voltage. The applications of single phase transformers are um, units of transportations, maintenance, spare units. Here the single phase transformers are used. Why these places are used in a single phase transformer? At the time auto transfer, single phase auto transformer, also called as, already we studied in a variac, 0 to maximize voltage 230 volt. Okay, so that purpose we are using this kind of applications process, we are using this type of transformers. Mainly the transformers losses also implemented. What are the two types of losses means? One is copper loss, another one is iron loss. Copper loss mainly uh, depends on the current flow, when the current flow arised, the copper loss is taking place. At the time of supply voltage get arised, the iron loss or core loss get increased or decreased. The iron loss and current loss are same. Iron loss and current loss are same. So construction and working principle of transformer is very simple. Transformer is a electrical device. It's transfer the power from one circuit to another without changing the frequency. It construction, so this induction principle also, electromagnetic induction principle. Electromagnetic induction principle says that whenever the magnetic field cut a conductor, the EMF will be produced. Here the primary winding only connected in a source or generator. Okay, so this is the single phase transformer working on principles and applications. Okay, next class we can discuss the topic of single phase squirrel cage induction motor, stepper motor, and brushless DC motors. Thank you.